number 3, and this is Atria Fitness, and I'll turn it over to them. Away you go.
We are Atria. Atria is a motivational platform that allows users to fundraise for their favorite charities through exercise. When I was 17, I decided I wanted to ride my bike from Victoria, British Columbia to Kingston, Ontario. I raised $47,000 for the BC Cancer Agency. It was incredibly challenging, and many days of my ride, I felt like quitting. But the only thing that kept me going, that kept me pushing, was knowing that for every kilometer I rode, I raised $5 for cancer research. When I arrived at Queen's, I felt incredible because I put purpose behind my movement. I had so much motivation. Right now, Canada needs that motivation because too many Canadians are not getting enough physical activity, and it has some serious consequences. That's why we created Atria. Here's how it works. Sorry. So at the beginning of each workout, let's say you commit to 1 workout a week. And you put up a monetary stake, $5, to make sure you go. If you don't go to your workout, Atria will take that $5. Let's pretend the week's happened, and you've gone to your workout. Congratulations, you get to keep your $5 stake. Congratulations. Unfortunately, Ms. Pang, you missed your workout. We're very sorry. Yeah. Atria will now take your $5 and divide it and redistribute it to the winners that week to their favorite charities. It also is matched by corporate sponsorship, doubling the benefit and the reward. Here's how the user experience works in-app. At the beginning of each week, I sign up for how many workouts I'd like to go to. I then attach a monetary stake to each of these events, between $5 and $50, depending on how much motivation I need. Because if I don't go, this money will go to other users' charities. So I'm motivated to go to the gym. Next, I look on the app and search for which charities I identify with, which one mean a lot to me, because they'll keep me motivated. Throughout the week, I go for walks with my Fitbit, I can go to the gym with my friends, or I can ride my bike. At the end of the week, after I've gone to my workouts, I'm rewarded by seeing other people's money go to a charity of my choice. I also see a corporation double this donation, doubling the reach and the benefit. I feel healthy and happy because I'm exercising regularly, and I'm finally achieving my fitness goals. This is why we created Atria. And this is why I'll come back week after week after week, because I have purpose behind my movement.
So how do we make money? Each week, the money that is lost from users who are missing their workouts is collected into a pot. We take 30% of this pot. Part of this goes to covering our administrative costs, as well as third-party transactional fees. Our second revenue stream comes from a partnership with a company called Keep. Keep pushes out promotional rewards and coupons to our successful users on a weekly basis, and we earn on average $1 for each reward that is redeemed through our platform. Our third revenue stream comes from corporate advertising. Corporations can participate in the donation matching program, and we charge them to participate in this program because through this program, they can receive highly targeted marketing to our successful users at their most engaged moment on our platform. When our users fail, we make money by taking a percentage of the weekly pot. When our users succeed, we make money through our partnership with Keep and corporate advertising. We have developed a revenue model that allows us to be profitable regardless of user performance.
And the users that are going to love Atria are millennials. Millennials are statistically the most likely to give to charity on a frequent basis and are the most active generation to date. The people that we are typically targeting will be around 18 to 35, own a smartphone, want to exercise regularly, and want to engage in charity. This gives us an approximate market of around 30 million people within North America. And trends in mobile, fitness, and charity are increasing across the board. Mobile app usage is increasing at around 12% each year, but mobile fitness app usage is increasing at over double that rate. And the overall amount of money being donated to charity is increasing at around 5%. Now, to reach this market, we are leveraging 2 key partnerships. The first is through international charity organizations, which will be pushing our platform through their network to their established audience, meaning that we have a direct audience at each city that we scale to through these charities. And the second is through corporations. Corporations want to be recognized for their social responsibility, and charities want support and donations from these corporations. Atria is able to bridge that relationship. The more users that are on our platform, the more charitable donations. The more users on our platform, the wider the reach of corporate advertisements. Naturally, both these partnerships become advocates for Atria. And this is how we justify a low cost of user acquisition. And the more of these partnerships that we secure, the more of a connection we're making between users, charities, and corporations, placing ourselves right in the center, presenting a high barrier of entry for any potential competition. We've created a powerful motivational tool using a monetary incentive model validated by a competition and adapted it to our market. Some of the barriers that our competitors face is that they have a misalignment of best interest with the users, meaning that they only make money when their users fail. But due to our diversified revenue model, we're able to overcome that challenge. And the other competitors that allow users to exercise to fundraise money for charities using corporate sponsorship money, we're able to charge corporations 40% less for their advertising, meaning that more of the corporate dollars are going directly to charity.
Now let's talk traction. As an app, we naturally need users to be successful, which is why right now we have over 200 beta testers signed up on our website awaiting the early release of our app. In addition, we have already established 8 corporate partnerships, including one with a hiring agency that has a network with over 200 companies in Canada. These corporate partners will be pilot testing our app with their employees and will be among the first corporate sponsors to participate in the donation matching program. But most importantly, right now, we are working with 4 international charitable organizations, including the YMCA, Room to Read, Right to Play, and the Boys and Girls Club. When we called the YMCA, they thought that our platform was such a great fit for their foundation that they instantly wanted to push our app out to their 4,500 members here in Kingston. With these 4 international organizations alone, we can reach over 10,000 people today in Kingston. And when we secure similar partnerships with their Toronto branches, this will extend our reach to over 200,000 people. This instantly validates our low-cost marketing strategy through established charity networks. So when we launch in a couple months, we will have reached over 25,000 people in Kingston. And based on our beta testing sign-up conversion rate, we expect to convert 4% of these to users on our platform by launch. This translates to 1,000 users on our platform at launch date. As we continue to scale through these charity networks, by the end of year 1, we will hit 30,000 active users on our platform by expanding to new cities such as Toronto, Montreal, New York. By the end of year 3, we will have hit 300,000 active users on our platform as we spread globally. This corresponds with $1.5 million in earnings in just the second half of year 3 alone. But more remarkably, in that same time period, our platform is raising over $3.5 million in charitable donations.
Our team is the perfect team to deliver success to Atria. Our members are fully committed and have spent time working at tech startups, developing mobile applications, and have sat on the board of directors for charities. Victor, Esther, and I have just recently graduated from Queen's, and we are so confident that in the potential success of Atria, we have passed up on attractive job opportunities in the fall to fully commit. As a team, we've spent hundreds of hours together working on this idea. We are committed to spending hundreds more to deliver it to the market. 2 months ago, we achieved proof of concept. We have already been developing key partnerships in the community with both corporations and charities alike. We've begun app development and are deep into user testing. We are asking for $30,000 today to extend our runway so we can have a comprehensive beta test to perfect the user experience here in Kingston in October and a nationwide launch by the end of the year. On my bike ride, the reason why I pushed myself so hard was because I knew that for every kilometer I rode, I raised $5 for cancer research, which benefited my friends and family members who had been diagnosed with cancer that year. We all have a cause that we can connect with. Atria makes exercise bigger than you. Now that's motivation to move. Thank you. We'll now be taking any questions you may have, judges.
Couple quick questions. The 30,000, can you tell me what you'll be using that for? And who are your current competitors?
Okay, so for the $30,000, that's going to extend our runway by 6 months. That'll primarily be spent on app development, as well as some marketing costs. Victor can go into a bit more detail about this.
Yeah. So our 30,000 will be breaking down if we have a monthly breakdown of how that's going to be spent. So we'll be hiring another developer come in the fall because Jeff and Alyssa will be going back to school. They will still be working part-time to help us develop the app, but we'll just need somebody else to be helping us out. We are allocating roughly $1,000 per month for marketing costs. When we start, we'll be allocating $250 to incorporating, as well as covering roughly $2,000 a month for salaries split between the three of us, Esther, myself, and Adam.
So you said in a couple of years you're going to be up at 30,000 or so users.
Yes.
And you had some numbers in terms of the amount of money you're going to make based on those users. So what's the financial split at the back? What are the assumptions in terms of, how much per user, how many of them will fail to get that 30%? How much are you going to get from advertising? What are the assumptions?
Right. So we are assuming that based on our competition, that 8% of workouts will be missed. And so 8%, yes. And on average, a user loses $33 and they are contributing $68 annually. So this roughly works out to about $10 in annual earnings, in annual profit per user. And the exact profit split is roughly, it's 50% from penalties, so people who are losing money going into the pot. 5% comes from corporate advertising, and 45% comes from our partnership with Keep, who are pushing out promotional awards.
So you have a few different revenue streams, and then you've got money coming in, money going out. Who's going to handle that on your team?
So the transactional service that we're using is PayPal, because PayPal is recognized as a reliable source of transferring money by the charity partners who we're working with. Alyssa can actually run you through the exact breakdown of how we're going to be moving the money around.
But sorry, just to clarify, did you mean who's going to be doing it on the team, or this actual process of how we're going to do it?
Well, both, but you answered any way you see fit.
Okay, so when they continue on in the fall, Victor's going to be doing a lot of the finances. And yeah, Victor and Esther right now are doing most of the finances, so they're going to be handling that. Right now, when we launch our beta in October, our account structure is going to look something like this. So all the money between corporate advertisements and users who do not meet their goals are going to be funneled through us before we push them to charities. Looking into the future, though, we're going to be looking to incorporate a second entity. This is much later, so that we can actually issue tax-deductible receipts to corporations. And I can give you the numbers and the reasons behind that if you would like.
And how long before the app is finished or launched? Yeah.
So we expect that the beta will begin in October based on our development process. We've finished already many different iterations of mockup and demo. Victor can actually show you our latest version. After we finalize this with some more focus groups, we're going to be working on the backend features that we've already validated with our technical proof of concept 2 months ago. So we are on track for a beta in October. And did you also want to ask about competition, as you asked earlier about it?
So this is the profile. You can swipe around to the current campaigns as well as explore through existing campaigns to find a charity that you would like.
Not sure if the video works. So in terms of our competition, there's two main spaces that we have. So the first one is the monetary incentive platforms. And then the second is just motivating through charitable donations. So you exercise, money goes to charity. So the two largest and closest competitors we have in each space are who I'm going to be speaking to for brevity's sake. So Pact is when we say we have a validated revenue model, Pact is the company that validated it. So the user penalties, 8% failure rate, this is from Pact. They have over 400,000 users and they are successful. They also support multiple activities. So it's not just running, walking, biking. Pact, however, targets a fundamentally different market. They also have a high user acquisition cost because they don't include the charitable donations. But I'm going to go a bit more into that after I talk about Charity Miles. So Charity Miles is the leader in the other space. So Charity Miles only relies on corporate sponsorships in order to generate revenue. So as a result, they have to charge corporate sponsors 50% of the money they're donating to charity. they also have to use $1 million just to start up. So we're taking the validated revenue model from Pact, as well as incorporating the validated revenue from Charity Miles. And using this, we're able to eliminate the misalignment that Pact's been criticized for. Pact only makes money when their users fail, when they're in the business of having their users succeed. We make money regardless of user performance. And because we have these other revenue channels, we're able to only charge companies 30% to participate in our matching program, whereas Charity Miles is required to charge 50%. Does that answer your question about competition?
I'm actually, because I'm not in the software space, so I'm a bit confused. What stopped Pact from copying Charity Miles in terms of going after corporate sponsorships and charge 20% versus your 30%?
Because Pact does not have the charity relations in their platform. They're primarily targeting a different market. They 30% or the penalties that users who don't make their workouts pay is given directly to the successful users. It's not given to charity. Pact doesn't facilitate that at all.
So you identified 4 charities as your initial partners, and you also made the assumption earlier on that millennials are your target market. What percentage of those charities are millennials? And, how would they help you get jump started in your target market?
Okay, so millennials are statistically the most frequent charitable donors, maybe not in terms of the size of their donation, but in terms of frequency. And these charities have extensive networks in terms of both social media and newsletters. So as an example, we use the YMCA in Kingston has 4,500 members they're willing to tell about push our platform onto. And millennials are also the most active on social media, which is where a lot of these charities spread word of what's happening, their events, and our platform eventually.
But have you found charities specifically that millennials would gravitate towards?
Yeah, so right now we're actually experimenting with a bunch of charities and seeing who exactly and what kind of charity we should be targeting when we do our full launch. This is why we're having our beta in Kingston, because it's a nice little safe test bed before we stretch out to larger branches of these charities and push our resources further. And so yeah, right now that's what we're actually trying to figure out.
So I've found it very interesting that you said millennials are the most charitable. Where did you get that data?
So there's a report we found, and we can pull up the reference later, but they're not necessarily the most charitable, but they donate the most frequently, but usually smaller amounts, which fits exactly with how we want to structure our monetary incentives.
What kind of verification do you have? Like, I set up a challenge and I do say I did it.
So there's a lot of different platforms, and this is actually a trend that we're capitalizing on. A lot of different fitness activity platforms are rolling out. So the very first that we want to integrate with are smartphones. So these will allow us to determine whether you're actually at a gym when you say you are, whether you're walking or not. But then there's more wearables and fitness trackers coming up. For example, the Fitbit and the Jawbone. And all of these have public APIs that let us gather their information and confirm that users are meeting their exercise goals. And so it is actually a very recent advancement that we're able to track with this much precision that users are exercising.
So what you just did was define a subset of a market. With people who have smartphones and Fitbit devices that are also part of the charities that you're going to be targeting.
To be clear, you don't have to have a Fitbit to participate. A smartphone is enough. But for example, having these wearables would allow you to expand the amount of exercises that we can track and confirm.
And your app is going to track it?
Yes, or we will leverage other apps that track it. So if we'll go back to that slide, there were, in our second tier that we were planning to expand to, there is Map My Run and Strava. So these are actually both software applications that use smartphone technology to accurately track your activity, and we can use this information in our application. So they take care of the precision. They want to be the most precise, and we're able to leverage that.